The last 5 to 6 classes, our discussions have been on Imam Rahimahullah al-Imam al-Shawkani, in his book Ad-Durarul Baiyyah fil Masail al-Fiqhiyah, he mentioned those things that are obligatory in wudu. He mentioned those things that are recommended in wudu. And he also mentioned those things that are nullifiers of the wudu. Our intention today, inshallah, is to respond to the questions that we might have had over this period and prefer responses to them as much as Allah will permit today, inshallah. Doctor, As'ila, mind that, Khalas. So if we have issues that we will need to respond to, we should ask them, inshallah. When a woman has a 2-month-old baby and she gets pregnant again, please give explanation on how to handle such a situation. Please advise the husband and wife on a way forward on this issue. The pregnancy is still within 2 weeks. I think these are not real issues. They are not problems, except that people consider them as problems. In the world today, it is verified that a woman can breastfeed 3 children together. It is verified that a woman has 3 children and she can breastfeed them all. One older than the other, then the other one follows and the other one follows. She can breastfeed them all. It is done in the US, in the Western world, where people like to take examples today. It is also done in Europe. So it's not a problem. A woman is pregnant, she has a baby, she's breastfeeding, she should continue, carry on. If Allah provides, she gives birth to the baby, she should go on breastfeed the babies. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. At least the world we live today, and I'm sure it would have been like that perhaps in the past. If we go to reported history, we would find examples. It is verified, so it's not a problem of how to kill one and let one live. So it's not a problem. Sometimes people make things that are not problems look like problems. What is the fear? Medically, what is the fear of such a mother? What is the fear? Where are our doctor brothers? Doctor, what is the fear? There is nothing to fear. There's another doctor. Wa alaikum salam. Please, provide a device for him to speak, please, so that we all hear him.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
The explanation given to it is that when a woman is breastfeeding, the stimulation of the nipples causes increase in the level of prolactin.
The stimulation of
the nipple.
Of the nipple.
Yes, causes production of prolactin.
Prolactin.
Yes, which is a hormone that enhances milk production in women. So this prolactin is said to cause abortion in women, so placing the pregnancy in danger. But there are certain levels during period of pregnancy which this is said to occur, and even medically.
There are certain levels in the stage of pregnancy.
Yes.
That what?
that it is said that this occurs.
That the prolactin secretion affects and perhaps
the index pregnancy.
Abortion itself.
Yes. Even medically, it is advised that if a woman is breastfeeding and gets pregnant, it is advised that she should continue breastfeeding up to a certain level for about 6 or 7 months before stopping breastfeeding.
If she stops breastfeeding, what is the fear of stopping breastfeeding after 6 or 7 months of pregnancy?
The fear of stopping breastfeeding is that the level of prolactin may have risen to a certain level to influence abortion. So that is why it is said that even if she continues breastfeeding, she should continue until the pregnancy is old enough to have had a certain level of implantation, where the baby is said to be well implanted in the ovum before, where where the chance of abortion is less at that time. So that is why it is said that she should continue.
How do we then reconcile with what we have seen in reality, that people have given birth? I followed this up and I read some articles, and on there, in fact, I watched video clips on women, people who breastfeed 2-3 children at the same time.
Yes, actually, there has not been any proof, but theoretically, it is explained as such. Even I have not also seen a case where a pregnant woman becomes she has exactly. So, but these are theoretical explanations given to such.
Should that be accepted then as a scientific fact or as a postulation?
It's just a postulation. Just a postulation.
So the issue is, the dean will deal with the reality on the ground. People with large families will understand this that I'm talking about. There is nothing really to fear. There is nothing to fear. There is nothing to fear, inshallah. I hope this sister has gotten her response. The doctors say that there are chances that when the child sucks, it agitates the production of an enzyme called prolactin, and that this prolactin forces abortion, compels abortion. So to avoid this is why they say it is not advisable that a woman that is pregnant should continue to breastfeed, but that sometimes the woman can carry on for as long as 6-7 months, and that she cannot carry on itself is not proven. I think people who usually discourage women from this, and I'll mention what I think is lacking in many of our women from my own observation. In many cases, like he said, a woman can still carry on for 6-7 months, and that within 6-7 months of pregnancy, it is expected that the secretion of this chemical prolactin will increase and perhaps force abortion. But that this itself may not be said to be categorically proven to be a fact, to the extent that whenever it happens, then abortion must happen. Because there are people, you can go and read these matters yourself. People carry on pregnancies. So when there is no fear, there is no need aborting a child. But I think the woman who will do this will need some things, one of which is good food. Many people don't feed their wives with good food. Good food does not necessarily mean bulky food. But please, feed women well, especially when they are in this circumstance. Make sure they eat well. When they eat well, they are able to do so many things at the same time. A woman has five children now in her womb. She's waiting to deliver any moment from now. Yes. And she was asked, well, how is she able to carry quintuplets? Is it quintuplets in her stomach? She said one major thing she does regularly is she eats well and she regularly visits the lavatory so that the bladder is not reducing the space for the children to occupy. So she's always eating to support the children, taking sufficient water and then she's visiting the lavatory. So we should eat well and keep good personal hygiene. Very important. Eat well, keep good personal hygiene. Eat well, keep good personal hygiene. These two things, not just for the pregnant woman. They are very necessary for every Muslim. Islam emphasizes personal hygiene. Even when there is no water, you have to look for a solution. You just have to clean najasa off you. Eat well and keep very good personal hygiene. The money you will spend in LATEC, you will spend it to eat good food. But many of the people Yorubas, because they want to build house, they don't eat well. They say they are saving. So they will be saving the money instead of eating good food, looking well, healthy. So they build the house. By the time they pack into the house, they live in the house with sickness. Where is the house that Abu Bakr al-Siddiq built? Where is the house that the Prophet himself built? Alayhi salatu wasalam. All of these things will go, but you must be able to live well. Be healthy inside you. Please, let's take good care of ourselves. Because they have rights. He said, وَلِجَسَدِكَ عَلَيْكَ حَقٍّ. Your body has a right over you. So it has a right to be fed. When you drink water, drink clean water. One of the reasons we understand that Islam really emphasizes this is from the sunnah of drinking water is that you must look into the water first. When you have a bowl of water to drink, in sunnah, you look into the water first. What does that imply? That is, those ones you can see from amongst the things that may be harmful to you will make you avoid drinking the water. So the ones you can't see, you say, okay, we rely on Allah for that one. But what about the ones you can see? So Islam emphasizes hygienic living, living with hygiene. Very important. People take it for leverage to the extent that people think, no. Our religion is not like that. The Messenger says, alayhi salatu wasalam, At-tuhur shatrul iman. At-tuhur, cleanliness, shatrul iman, is half of iman. Cleanliness. If cleanliness is not half of iman, we've been discussing najasa all these days. Purity, things we must keep away from. How do we handle najasa? How do we comport ourselves in the lavatories? How do we handle this? How do we handle that? All this while, till now, we are still talking about issues of cleanliness. After now, we start talking about ghusl. After now, we start talking about hayd and nifas, menstrual blood and childbirth, blood as a result of childbirth, nifas. After that, we start talking about issues all related to keeping clean in Islam. Inna Allah jamilun yuhibbul jamal. Allah is beautiful and He likes that which is beautiful. So let us pay good attention to personal hygiene. So in addition to dousing any kind of fear this sister may have about being pregnant 2 weeks and then she's breastfeeding, she should eat well. When you eat well, the child that is sucking will have something to suck. Sometimes people carry babies. When you look at the babies, you know that the mother is not eating well. The child is either having oka, you must say oka. It is because of dehydration. Oka. You know oka now in Yoruba? What do they call it in English? Sorry. From Tanya. There is a depression at the top of the head. It will be breathing up and down. It is because of dehydration. So if a woman is breastfeeding, it means she should drink good water, more of good water. And sometimes she may have to give some good clean water also to that child. They will now make her go and be giving the little boy things that his liver and kidney cannot survive. It kills. Gradually. They weaken the liver, they weaken the kidney. You don't know what with which it is made of. They are not tested to know whether they are safe from all of what we talk about. And these things, these organs, once an individual loses them, he starts counting the number of days. Please, let's take good care of ourselves for the sake of Allah with very good hygiene. Oka is not asasi, and it does not need to be a good drink good water. Let the mother breastfeeding the child also drink good water, clean water. She should be regular. The average human being should drink 8 cups of water per day. 8 cups. You look how many cups did you drink today? How many did you drink? So when you get into Molia, they start advertising something to wash blood. How something to wash the blood? How is blood washed? Kini ama fo eje. How is the blood washed? How do you wash the blood? You wash the blood in the hospital? Doctors don't wash blood. Please, for the sake of Allah, know what you put in your mouth. When I was young, it was a major advice from my father. May Allah forgive our dead Muslims. He would say, know what you put in your mouth. Because once it goes in, it has no cure. What you put in your mouth. Once it goes in, maybe Abba to Sauda. But let's be careful what you put in your mouth. The food you eat, it must be good food and it must be halal. This is what Allah has commanded us. وَكُلُوا مِمَّا رَزَقَكُمُ اللَّهُ حَلَالًا طَيِّبًا. Halalan, it must be halal. طَيِّبًا, it must be good. Don't just eat anything. Don't just drink anything. Very important. They affect your look. They affect your sleep. They affect your mental stability. They affect everything you do. What you eat makes you. Please, let's be careful about this aspect of life. It is part of Sunnah, alayhi salatu. He wasn't eating just anything. He was the one that Allah commanded to eat halalan tayyiba. Something that is halal and tayyib, nice. Al-Imam Darqutni says, halalan tayyiba means when you eat tayyib, it must be things that the body requires. I say this is balanced diet. Isn't that the meaning of balanced diet? You give the body what it needs to eat. So for the sake of Allah, let us eat good food. It enhances general health, good health. Eat good food. Sleep well. 2 things. Rest well. Eat well. Rest well. Eat well. May Allah make this easy for us. It's not a medical class, but it affects our iman too. I think the woman got her response from that, inshallah. I prefer more questions on wudu, salah, especially on wudu. This is an issue of a man got his wife an appointment in an establishment. But the salary due to the wife is being collected by the man. Later the man established his own company and his wife is working with him. But the wife is not being paid any salary. What does Islam say about this? Well, if the woman agrees to give the salary to the man, there is nothing wrong about it. If a woman agrees after the man sets up his company to work free of charge for the husband, there is no option. The companions, there were amongst them who had farms, like Zubair ibn Awwam. And one of the workers in that farm was who? Asma bint Abi Bakr Siddiq. So women complement the efforts of their husbands. If you view the matter from this angle, you will know that it's an easy matter. But if the woman and the man agree that the salary belongs to her, and it basically belongs to her unless she hands it over. If she does not hand it over, she wants to treat it like her own, then whenever she spends from it, she should do so with his permission. If she chooses to hand it over to him, there is no problem. But when they both now agree that it is your money, then the wife should seek the husband's permission when she spends from this her money. Al-Imam Abu Dawud has reported that hadith in his Sunan, that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, no woman believes in Allah, any woman who believes in Allah on the day of Qiyamah should not spend anything from her property except with the permission of her husband. The Prophet Muhammad says, any woman who believes in Allah on the day of Qiyamah should not spend anything from her wealth unless she asks for the permission of her husband. And the hadith is authentic. If you listen to Silsilatul Huda wa Nur of Al-Imam Al-Albani, he was asked this question. And he said that it is prohibited, it is haram for a woman to spend from her earnings what she has, what she owns, without asking the husband's permission, whether general or specific. The permission could come in two forms. General, in the situation where the husband gives the wife a general permission, spend your money as you like. There's a woman who did something and she was going to spend close to 1.5 million in it. I asked her, did you ask your husband? I said, my husband knows that I spend things like this and we don't have problems about it. So it will appear like some inadvertent or subtle allowance for her to do so. The woman requires a permission, whether general or specific. So if she does not have a general permission, it means she must be asking for specific permission. She has some money, she wants to buy a car. My husband, I want to buy a car. The Prophet says, alayhi salatu, if she believes in Allah on the day of Qiyamah, a woman may build a house and the husband does not know. This is common in Yoruba land. Say, where do you go? Don't tell him. And she's living under his roof. She's eating his food. And she's his wife. She is his wife. And yet she's building a house. The husband does not know. So women should be careful about this. Tell your husband. That is why before you say yes to a man that he will be your husband, think well and look well. The time that a woman has the power of her decision is before the marriage. Don't marry a man that you can't be a slave to him. A man that, will this man treat me well if I am his slave? That is the man you should marry. The man you think, if I am this man's slave, he will treat me well. That is the man you should marry. Because that is almost what you will become in his house. This was the advice of Aisha radiallahu anha to women. And we know the extent of the man's right over his wife. The Messenger says, alayhi salatu wasalam, لو أمر أحدا أن يسجد لغيره لأمرت المرأة أن تسجد لزوجها. Sujud. If I were to allow or command a human being to bow down to another human being, he didn't say mother to a child. He didn't say father to a child. So it means the right between the husband and the wife, the authority of the husband over the wife supersedes the authority of parents over the child. So you see, women are under great rights from their husbands. A woman during the time of the Messenger ﷺ was refusing to marry. And the Messenger ﷺ, the father of this woman, brought the woman to the Messenger. Look at this girl, she does not want to marry. Say, come, can you fulfill the right of marriage? Say, that's why I don't want to get married. And he mentioned that if she could lick the wound, if a woman licks the wound of her husband, she would not have been able to still fulfill his rights over her. So the rights of the man over the wife, licking the wound, he has a wound and she's licking it, she would still not have fulfilled his rights over her. So if you will become like this in the hand of a person, shouldn't you now look properly before you get into his hand? Unfortunately, women will be saying, he's very caring. He's sending me text message. What's up? When you get to the house, that is the time that you will know who you have married. For that reason, Islam has not left women to choose their husbands by themselves. It still leaves some reservations for their male relatives, their fathers, their uncles, their brothers, in fact, their children. If she were a woman that has given birth to a children that is grown up. And that's why Aisha radiyallahu anha reported that Messenger says alayhi salatu wassalam, أَيُّمَا امْرَأَةٍ نُكِحَتْ بِغَيْرِ إِذْنِ وَلِيِّهَا فَنِكَاحُهَا بَاطِلٌ فَنِكَاحُهَا بَاطِلٌ فَنِكَاحُهَا بَاطِلٌ. 3 times. Any woman who was married without the express permission of her wali, this wali is the person that will verify the husband. Who is he? Who are his parents? Where is he from? What is his job? How is his character? How is his comportment? Who is he? What level of education does he have? Is he a fair person? Is he regular in daily salah? How is his dealings with people? How does he handle trust? Unfortunately, people will say they should come and do introduction. That mommy mo, I say it's tamin to. There it is. So the man will look for one PhD holder, one professor, one woman. She will wear big. So they will come big. They will come in the manner that they are not. And the family of the girl too will present themselves in the manner that they are not. Let us see you ordinary as a person. Who are you in yourself? Without the paraphernalia. So that's why I call it that name. That it is not sufficient. I will be a no. That is not the job of a father to a child who is a girl that he wants to hand over to another man. He will verify who are his friends. Because ar-rajulu ala deen khalilihi, an individual is upon the deen of his friends. Who is he? Where does he pray? What is the opinion of the masjid about him? All of these will be found out. But today parents don't have time for that. I say, okay, come and see me tomorrow. Nah! You draw him closer. Who are you? Who is your mother? Who is your father? And the father will go on verifying, such that he is certain that he is not putting his daughter into a hole. But these days people don't have time for that. I'm busy, I'm in the work. Come and see me in the office if he has time. Or bring your parents. He brings his parents. Or he hires parents. It's there. It's not put up. So parents should do their job. Parents should do their job. And sisters should open their heads. I didn't say open your mind though. Because once she is by her nature emotionally taken away, don't ask her for her head. Once the woman is gone in her emotions, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. So don't ask for her mind. Her mind, open your head. The one who sends you the more text message is not necessarily the best. It's not necessarily the best. I've asked somebody before, why do you want to marry? He's very caring. I said, how is he caring? He's sending me message all the time. If I wake up in the morning, he will ask me, how was your night? In the night, he will ask me, kindly sleep well. You know, things like this. So people should be more serious with marriage. And don't deceive yourself. Go into marriage with sincerity. Know what you want and go for it. Know what you want and go for it. Unfortunately, many people don't know what they want. Women don't know what they want in a man. When I ask them, what do you want in a man? I say, religious person. I say, irreligious person will not come. If irreligious comes, he will not say, I'm irreligious. I want a religious brother, at least religious. I say, this thing is vague and ambiguous. Religious brother. Bring the one that is not religious. Let's see. So all of these kind of statements they are vague. So that's why the woman should, if she knows now, she should educate her parents about what to look for. Daddy, if you want to marry me to a man, are you verifying so and so? Are you verifying so and so? Verify so and so. Check so and so. Who is his father? Who is his mother? Because all of these things affect people. Likewise, a brother. Don't say the jilbab is long. She is covering her face. It's not sufficient. That is the frank truth. Verify who is she, who is the father, who is the mother, how did she grow up, what are the things that are common character in the family. All of these things are important, not just jilbab and niqab. And unfortunately, they say love these days, L-O-V-E. When you ask somebody, define what you mean, they can't define it. So please, people should take selection during marriage. It's a very, very serious thing. And then after all this, you be very, very prayerful. Because people change. Wallahi, people change. You see a very, very good person, then you become something else in marriage. Or you see a very bad person and then... But this is rare. It's not the basic rule. The basic rule is that people are shabu ala awwali nash'atihi. People carry on upon what they were nurtured upon. That is the basic rule. The other one that I just mentioned is the exception. So please verify properly and hand the matter. Pray, be very, very prayerful. Marriage destroys people and make people. Marriages. May Allah protect us. I think it suffices here with respect to that that question that regarding issues of salary and the woman. It depends on what the husband agrees with the wife. But the wife should understand that she cannot on her own spend her wealth as she wills without the permission from the husband. And the proof is that hadith that you have heard. If a person has lost more than 3 pregnancies, can she say that she does not want to bear any child again? Why? She shouldn't say that. Bearing child is very, very encouraged in Islam. Having children is encouraged in Islam. And it's also encouraged in sociology. I tell you this. Those who talk about, I don't want to use that word, family planning. Those who talk about, because family planning is complex, it may include something that is good, and it may include something that is bad. So people call tahdidun nasl in Arabic, restricting the number of children you will have. So people can say, I don't want to have more than 2, 3, A sister cried to me once that she got pregnant and the husband told her that he will divorce her. If he does not divorce her, she is the one that will be responsible for that pregnancy from day one to the last day, because he has been warning her not to be pregnant. I said, give me his telephone number. So this is from the aspects of irresponsibility. So it is not proper for people to do this. If she'd had miscarriage 1, miscarriage 2, miscarriage 3, it does not stop her. There could be many reasons. The womb may be tilted downwards, such that pregnancy, the zygote cannot remain in the womb. Sorry, please. There may be other medical reasons. But the ones that I know, the womb usually tilts downwards. Sometimes blood incompatibility will be such that once the pregnancy is about 1 to 3 months, it will go off. 1 to 3 months, it will go off. But there are medical solutions to them. There are injections they will give them. In fact, sometimes they have to evacuate the child, the pregnancy, and then implant it at another time. Technology has gone so far. So they could seek medical solutions. If they understand the time that the abortion occurs, then they can, before it occurs, they can evacuate the pregnancy and then replace it, implant it again, or have the child delivered inside the test tube. All of these things are proven. It is happening now. It is from the ease that Allah has given to our generation. So she should not say, oh, I will not give birth to a child again. Oh, Malasha. Child is value. Child is value. If a man dies, he has 10 buildings, 15 in Abuja, 20 in Dubai, 15 in Down Street in the UK, and they will not write this in the newspaper. They will say he survived by the following. Khadija to Titilope, they will now name the children. The most valuable of what he has left is what? Children. And that's why the messenger says, alayhi salatu wasalam, from what, the things that does not end, that we do from the goodness in this dunya is what? Al-waladu salihu yad'u lahu. A pious child that he has left behind that is supplicating for him. So the more child, or the more number of children he has left behind pious, the number of people that will be asking Allah to forgive him. So the better for him. So there is value in having a lot of children. A lot of value in it. If you go to China and say there is no value in having children, then there will be problem. They form about 1/5 of the entire population of the world. If the world is 5 billion, China is 1 billion. If the world is 5 billion, China is 1 billion. Their army is larger than the entire population of Nigeria. Do we understand this fact? So don't call them one superpower and then you face the game. The population matters. And that's why Europe is accepting immigrants now. By the power of Allah, Islam will take over Europe in another 10 minutes, in another 10 years. I tell you this, you are taking over people in a large number who are widely Muslims and who reproduce. They will take over the government. It's a matter of time. In another 10 years, you will see. They themselves have made documentaries before the migrant explosion in the world now. They themselves have made documentaries that in the next 20 years, Islam will rule US and America, in the US and Europe. There are documentaries because the Muslims are giving birth to children, producing. Wait and see. The same manner Israel took over Palestine. The Palestinians were making Tahdid al-Naasir, 1, 2 children. Israelis were producing. were they when they occupied the territories in 1946 or 49? How many were they? Now they are contesting with the original owners of the land. The same way Al-Aws and Al-Khazraj took over Medina. In Arab history, Medina was occupied by Jews. It was said that Musa alayhi salam sent Banu Israel to expel the Amalekah from the present day area we call Medina. So they expelled them and stayed there. Banu Israel. So when Allah destroyed وَمَزَّقْنَاهُمْ كُلَّ مُمَزَّقٍ in Sabah, Allah destroyed and spread the children of Sabah, about 33 tribes. They were spread on the surface of the earth. Al-Aws and Khazraj made a migration from Yemen, and they came to stay, to beg the Jews, please, I beg you, let us stay here. They say, stay there, in the outskirts of Medina. They stayed there, they started producing. When those people need they come and carry them. That is workers, laborers. The Jews go to pick the Arabs. They take them to work and they go back to their quarters at the outskirts of the city. It was happening, they were producing. So once the Arabs met themselves and say, we are beginning to get larger than these people, perhaps they would like to attack us. So they sent a message to their tribes that had traveled to as far as Syria, Sham, and all other parts of the world that, my brother, this place where we are living, Allah has granted us acceptance on the land, but it is possible that those people we are living with, they may attack us because of our large number. So they sent an army to support them in case they want to attack them. All these are in the book Tariq Medina. Ulama, go back to any of the books of the Tariq of Medina. So they sent them to come and support their brothers. On their way, they got aware that the attack was imminent, so they hasted. When the Jews stood up to attack them, they overpowered the Jews. They now expelled the Jews from the middle of the city to the outskirts of the city. They took over the middle of the city. Till today. And it will be like that till the day of Qiyamah. That was how the remaining tribes of the Jews, Banu Nadir, Banu Qaynuqa, and Banu Qurayza, they were finally expelled by the Prophet Muhammad. And if you look at, they were living at the outskirts of Medina at the time. But when the Prophet came and they became further subdued, he finally expelled them. The last people to go was Banu Nadir. And that was what Allah mentioned in Surah Al-Hashr. What I'm saying is that number matters. Number matters. Number matters. Don't let them deceive you that you can't send them to school. Are you the one sending them to school? I remember we were in our own family, about 4 of us got into the university at the same time. When people met our parents, they say, on a try, they say, na God. That is what they say, it's Allah. It's Allah. Did our parents have money on the ground before they sent us to school? Or we were in school and then the money was coming provided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And I tell you that was the case. Is it that we have money somewhere and then we send the children to school? Or we send them to school hoping that we will be getting the money to fund the school? Is it the first or second case? It's the second case. It's the second case. We send them to school. Even the day we will go send them to school, we may not have the school fees complete. But we'll be hopeful. We'll be hopeful that we will get it. And then we start searching. As we are searching, Allah will say, take this one. Take this one. So you get it. You quickly pay the school fees. 2 weeks after, you sell the uniform. 2 weeks after, you buy the books. You'll be waiting for another 3 months. Or another session again. Before you do that. And then you carry on with the child like this. So somebody now is now threatening you that if you don't have the money now, don't give back to the child. Okay. You have the money now, you give back to the child. And then something happens to the money. Somebody had 1.4 billion. Abi? And he has second on his hand. Now they want to collect the money from his hand. If he had, because of that, sent his child to school, and then the man comes now and says, no, bring me the money, what will happen to that child? Inna Allah huwa ar-Razzaq dhul quwwati al-matin. Allah is ar-Razzaq. The animals that don't have hands and leg, Allah provide them food. The time you were in the womb of your mother, you can't eat any other than breast milk. As you were developing inside the womb, your food too was evolving in the breast of the woman. When you came out of the womb, you don't know anything. Who taught you that you should suck it? Who taught us? And as you suck it, you get the food, the initial minerals you need for survival at that time. The initial minerals and nutrients you need for strength to be able to survive the new environment. That is the one he will push for you. Who will push it for you? At the time that you cannot move your hand and your leg, he provided for you. Is it the time that you can walk all around Oshogo that he will not provide for you? Subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our problem is our disposition. We must change it and adopt the right disposition. We must think correctly. If the individual thinks wrongly, he will provide wrong answers. Allah is Ar-Razzaq. Allah is Ar-Razzaq. If a person say the mother was or the father was a state governor in Osun, he ruled for 4 years, he wants to rule for another 4 years. They went to court. Just one day, they just announced for Ibadan that you have stopped being governor of Osun. And things just change. How is that? Things just change. It can go like this too. It comes like this and goes like this. So don't think that your situation will be permanent. Be begging Allah every day. If you have, beg Allah. If you don't have, beg Allah. Be begging him every day. If you have, be begging him. If you don't have, be begging him. All of us, he wants us to be begging him. That is what he wants. Old, young, rich, poor, professor and undergraduate, married or unmarried, all of you should be begging me. Allah. That is what he wants. So he says, Ma ya'ba'u bikum. The messenger should tell us, Ma ya'ba'u bikum rabbi lawla du'a'ukum. If it is not that you are begging Allah, Allah does not want you, does not have any need for you if you are not begging him. So Allah wants all of us to be begging him. So let's not rely on what you have today in your pocket, in your GTB account. Some people had money, society generate. ACB. When the banks folded up, what happened to them? Have they died? Osun state workers, you are complaining, 8 months, they didn't pay your salary. Did you die? It is Allah that is Ar-Razzaq. It is not your salary that is sustaining you. Understand this. It is Allah that is sustaining. Even the salary, is it sufficient for you? The salary you collect, is it sufficient? The highest salary a person can have in Nigeria legally is 1.6 million. Abi? 1.1 million, is it? And that is president. His basic salary is around 1.1 million. Abi? The vice president is 900 and something thousand. The children they have, and the responsibilities they have at home, the attachments of friends and relatives, this money is not sufficient for them. So who is sustaining us? So we should think correctly. Don't be afraid. That radio jingle, don't let that deceive you. Don't let that bother you. When you hear that, what you should say in your mind is that Inna Allah huwa ar-Razzaqu dhul quwwatil matin. Always, when you hear it, you say, Inna Allah huwa ar-Razzaqu dhul quwwatil matin. Always, when you hear it, repeat it in your mind. Inna Allah huwa ar-Razzaq. A man has a child, or 2 or 3 or 5 children. He dies. He leaves inheritance. The woman dies. And then they can't have the inheritance, one way or the other. Have we not had people like this who have survived lives? The father died, the mother died, they didn't have anything. And then the children grow up to become professors. Kilo Shewagana. Regarding the semen, you have said it many times that it is not a najasa. But why is it compulsory for us to perform ghusl? You perform ghusl because of its coming out. Khurujul mani. That's why it says, إِذَا فَضَخْتَ الْمَاءَ فَاغْتَسِلْ. When you expel. So the ghusl is because you expel it, not because it itself is najis. The ghusl is because you expel it, not because it in itself is what? Najasa. I think when we discussed this matter, we gave some detailed explanation. If it were najasa, the Prophet ﷺ would not pray in a cloth that had semen on it. And he did that as was reported to us by Aisha. What is the ruling? What ruling do you have about a man teaching a woman apart from his wife? It depends on what he's teaching her and the circumstance of his teaching her. If a man is teaching a woman as we are now, there's nothing wrong about it in Islam. The men are seated, women are seated far behind. There is nothing wrong about that. The sittings of the Messenger ﷺ used to be like that. If he is teaching in this circumstance, there is nothing wrong. But ulama say if a man is teaching a woman Quran, and then she will be doing they say it is wrong. One of those who mentioned it and said it was wrong, or it is wrong, is Al-Imam Al-Albani. He mentioned that in Silsilatul Huda wal Nur, that it is not allowed for a man to teach a woman Tajweed, Quran. Allah says, إِنِ اتَّقَيْتُنَّ فَلَا تَخْضَعْنَ بِالْقَوْلِ. If you fear Allah, don't be twisting your voices. So how will a woman read Quran with tajweed and she will not twist her voice? And he had commanded us that we should make the tajweed of our voice with the Quran. That is, we should make tahsin al-sawt in the qira'ah. We must make sure that we read with sweet, clean voice. So when the woman is reading with that sweet, clean voice, and she has been prohibited from twisting her voice before a male, how do you reconcile between this? So that's why I've always said it. People say, we need medical doctors that are women. I say, we also need women who will teach women Quran. Which one do we need most? How many female consultants do we have, roughly, in this city? How many? They will not be less than 5. They will not be less than 5. I know 2. I give 3 to the ones that I don't know. Consultants, medical doctors. In fact, I remember a 3rd one now. I know 3. In this town, Tajongbe. So who are medical doctors? Consultants. Okay. How many women do you know who Hufaz of Quran teaching women Quran? How many? And which one do we need more? One is taking care of the soul. One is taking care of the body. Which one do we need more? And that is the one we don't talk about. If you see one professor talking, say, hey, sister, emura kekawe, you can't say, emura kekewu first. Then emura kekawe. And when the person wants to give an example, say, see now, we don't have Muslim doctor. If a woman wants to give birth to a child, he will have to give birth to. If a woman wants to pray, she prays 5 times a day. Does she give birth to children 5 times a day? So which one does she need most in terms of urgency? She prays 5 times a day. She will read Quran at least 5 times a day in Salah. The weakest woman, no nafila, nothing. Half of salawat must be complete 5 times a day. And we have her again having to give birth to children once in 2 years or once every year. Once every year. Yes. Which one does she need most urgently? What she does every day or what she does once a year? Okay. One of them will end in this dunya. It's over. This dunya. One of them transcends this dunya. How is that? So our need, the urgent need for women who can teach women is far greater. I say it. Our urgent need for women who will teach women Islam, Quran, Hadith, Sunnah, and how to practice their deen is greater than our urgent need for obstetrics and gynecologist women. If you think otherwise, tell me, let me benefit from you. Perhaps I will change my opinion. I will ask doctors to speak. Doctor, what do you feel? What do you think? Frankly speaking, there is a fourth aspect to the discussion that I don't want to open up. But I think let's talk about it, inshallah. And I think we will not misunderstand it. Do you know that the Sharia allows a man to treat a woman in that circumstance? That is the fatwa of Sheikh Muqbil Al-Wadi. You don't find a man, you don't find a woman to treat her, and she barely needs an attention. Usually for childbirth, the woman does not need more than a nurse or a matron. Most times doctors don't stay there except there is a complexity. The child should just come out. You, the husband, you can do it yourself. One of our teachers, one of our ulama, all his children, he gave back to, he delivered his wives himself. He had 11 children. Okay, he can't do this. Take her to the hospital. There are matrons, qualified matrons, who take delivery without complexity. Then when there is complexity beyond a matron, we look for a female doctor. If we don't find a female doctor and there is complexity, the life of the woman is threatened, the life of the baby is threatened, is it not allowed for a male in that circumstance to save a life or lives? Okay. If a woman cannot pray correctly, she cannot read Fatiha correctly, what will she do? She will say, Subhanallah, wa biyamudi, Subhanallah, lazim today. Tomorrow too, Subhanallah, in Salah. If it is allowed for her today, it will not be allowed for her tomorrow, next tomorrow. Because she has time to learn it. Okay, now she wants to learn it. Who will teach her? She can't find somebody to teach her. We hope, inshallah, very soon in this city we'll have a madrasa for women fully established that will at least take women through the basic understanding, basic ability to read Quran and pray correctly. so that they will not be going to Afar. Read Quran yourself, pray to Allah. I think inshallah very soon things like this will have them. Let's encourage women to kill. Let's encourage them to know Quran. Be able to read Quran averagely well. So that they can, it is Quran you are reading at least. May Allah make it easy for us. In accordance with a part of your talk, that opposite sex should study each other efficiently before getting married. I didn't say that. My question is, what is actually the durational period in which studying each other is Islamic? I didn't say you should study yourself. I never said people should study each other. You can't study yourself. In the north, there is something they call tadi. Kumala. Tadi is a man is seeking to marry a girl every night. They will ask, you won't go for tadi? That is, you go and sit down with the girl from after Maghrib. They will be talking till 9, 10. They will separate. Tomorrow they will meet again. Yet, once they married, in less than 2 years, they divorce. Tadi has failed to solve the problem. So, I didn't say study yourselves. The woman's male relatives are the ones who will research about the man and produce a report sheet. We found out that he's like this, he can compromise like this, he may not compromise here. They will find out objectively before they hand over their daughter to the man. And the female relatives or even the male relatives of the man will go to the background of the girl too, start finding out. Yorubas used to do this in the past. But now they say Olaju. Say Olaju so pe keyin mo gbon ni. If you are doing something that was good in the past, why stop it because of so-called Olaju? Civilization. The Yorubas used to do it. They will be finding out, asking. In fact, when they are finding out, the man may not have seen the proposed wife for more than once or twice. So it's not an issue of study. You can never get her. You will study, you will not get it. She too, she will study, she will not get you. Because the nature of human being is, when you want to marry a lady, do you know people borrow clothes to go to Fatadi? Malanko? People borrow clothes to make the girl feel that they are okay. So today they wear one clothes, tomorrow another one, next tomorrow another one. They borrow caps, good caps. See them. So she can never study him and he can never study her. So I didn't say they should study themselves. No time frame for study, no study. The families of the boy and the families of the girl should do the correcting. It's not issue of study. It's issue of research and finding out about the man for the family of the girl and about the girl for the family of the man. Alaykum salam. Bismillah. You feel? Okay. Amen. We listen to the Quran. Yes. He's saying when the brother reads Quran before we commence classes, what should we do? Sit down and listen to the brother. وَإِذَا قُرِئَ الْقُرْآنِ فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ وَأَنصِتُوا.
Thanks, sir. The second question, sir. Can we perform ablution upon an ablution that is said to be...
Can we do what?
Perform ablution upon an ablution that is said to be vitiated, maybe just to get refreshed or energized.
Can you perform ablution?
Upon another ablution that is said to be vitiated, maybe just to get refreshed.
An individual is in wudu. Can he make wudu? Yes, he can. The messenger did that, alayhi salatu wasalam. Umar radiyallahu anhu asked him, why did you do that? He said, I did that to renew the wudu. It's allowed to perform, the hadith occurs in Sunan Abi Dawud. It's allowed to perform wudu when you are not in any condition of hadath. Because wudu itself is ibadah. And it has reward. So the more of it that you do, the more rewards of that ibadah that you gain. It becomes obligatory in that circumstance when you are in hadath. And it is encouraged when you are not in hadath. Allahu Akbar.
Thank you, sir. The last question, sir. During prayer, maybe behind an imam or when one is praying alone, and the baby defecates or pees.
Who defecates?
A baby.
A baby.
Mm-hmm. Are we going to stop the prayer and clean up, or we continue the prayer and after prayer we clean up?
Can we
stop the prayer and clean the area that the baby has defecated? Or we stop the prayer
if it is not touching anybody?
If it is touching, are we going to, maybe there is a row here during prayer and the baby just pees there. Are we going to stop, maybe, so no, the cycle will be a bit disrupted. Maybe 2-3 people will have to leave the row, clean it, and then thereafter. Is that correct, sir?
They can do it and then make bina of their salah. They can clean it and then return to the salah. Continue with the salah where they stopped. Without speaking to anybody. Because Abdullah ibn Umar, Sa'id ibn Musayyib, Salim ibn Abdullah ibn Umar, when they had ri'af or ru'af, they would go clean it off and then come back. So it means an individual who has something like that can go out, clean it off, and then return to salah. These narrations occur in Muwatta Imam Malik. They could do that. The individual could clean up, come back and continue the salah. If we go to check Al-Istidhkar, the Sharh of Al-Imam Al-Hafiz Ibn Abdul Barr, he mentioned things, situations, scenarios like this. So the individual can do it, inshallah. Alaykum as-salam. Naam, bismillah. Regarding
the prohibition of passing in front of a praying person.
Okay.
Is there a specific distance that we have to give before we can pass?
Passing in front of the praying individual. What is the particular distance? There is no narration that specifies a distance. And the opinions are varied. Some say 2 handspans, some say 1, some say 3. But the safe thing to say, like one of the ulama, Sheikh Mashhur Hassan al-Salman says, is that when you pass in front of the person, when you know that you are not passing in front, that is, you can't say in front of him. The distance is so large that he can't say you pass in front of me. That is the distance we can pass in front of him. The distance where the person praying cannot say you pass in front of me, even though he was not having a sutra in front of him, that is the distance that we can pass in front of him.
The second question.
Now,
regarding praying Salatul Maghrib with a Jama'ah that is observing Isha.
Performing Maghrib with a Jama'ah that is performing Isha.
Yeah. What is the best practice? Is it permissible to join them to observe it? And
yes,
how will one conduct himself when they complete the salah?
Some of the ulama say you should make taslim and stand up. Some say you should sit down and wait for the imam. There are fatwa on this. This is an issue of fatwa, ijtihad.
No, jazakallah khair.
Ameen. Alaykum salam. Now, the question is, a person performing Salatul Maghrib behind a congregation that is performing Salatul Isha, how will he handle his Salah? He has to perform 3 and they are performing 4. How will he handle his Salah? Some ulama say he should make taslim and stand up and go after his third behind the imam. Someone that say no, he has to wait, sit down and wait until the Imam completes. In fact, the fatwa of Sheikh Islam Ibn Taymiyyah is that he should make the Isha with them and then pray his Maghrib after Isha. Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, his view is you should pray that Isha with Isha. And then after Isha, you should pray Maghrib without returning another Isha. They say when you ask about tartib, say La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha. He does not have the time to bring tartib. But he has prayed Maghrib and Isha. When I'm in that case, that is what I do. It appears more evidence-based for me. Because the other two will involve conflicting with the Imam. If you make taslim before the Imam, you make taslim before the Imam. If you sit down when the Imam is standing up to make the fourth rakah, you still some conflict with the Imam. But this one does not have any conflict. The conflict is the issue of tartib, and it solves it with La yukallifullahu nafsan. Allahu Akbar. Alaykum salam. But is this point clear? Did we get the question, Akhi? Yes. Good. You say what? Yes, he is asking genuine excuse to have missed Salatul Maghrib. Many things happen. Perhaps you're on a journey, you intend to perform a Salah. For one reason or the other, you cannot. You just get to the masjid and you find them performing Salat. Many things happen. Especially in our present day generation. You may be sleeping, you wake up. You exceeded the time of Maghrib. You go to the masjid, they are performing Salatul Al-Isha. They may be joining between Maghrib and Isha because of rain or severe cold. They would have prayed Maghrib, you were rushing for Maghrib, somehow you missed the Maghrib, and they had started Salatul Isha. There are many things that can bring us into that circumstance. That's also genuine. There are cases where people will say, I'm a keeper. People should not make Salah like this. Some of the ulama say when a person decides like this, if he performs that Salah outside his time, it will not be accepted by Allah. Because the Salah that Allah has commanded us to observe is Kitab al-Mawquta. It is obligated for us, fixed with its time. So we should avoid delaying Salah. And it will fall into that verse in Surah Al-Ma'ud. فَوَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ. It is from as-sahu with Salah, to leave Salah out of its time without any genuine reason. So the brother's response and the issue he's raising is very, very genuine. Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaykum salam.
If in the course of cleaning up the urine or defecation of by the HOS, maybe in the course of doing that, so the person praying has turned his face out of Kahaba.
There is no problem, Sean. There is no problem. Alaykum salam. A woman is working under her husband or assisting her husband, like the husband has a school and the wife is a teacher in the school. Now,
does that not fall under Ashratu Sa'a?
He said, does that not fall under Ashratu Sa'a as-Sughra? Because Al-Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal reports a hadith that from the signs of the last hour is that the people will be so engrossed in trade to the extent that a woman will be in trade with the husband. This hadith, we tried to find the comments of ulama on it, but we have not found. I did not find written. But I have asked two of them face to face. The response they give is that that is not indicating that it is prohibited. That something is from the signs of the last hour does not mean that it is haram. Unless we have proof to say that that thing is haram. Likewise, that something is from the signs of the last hour does not mean that it is halal. Until we find a proof to prove that that thing is halal. For example, the Messenger told us, alayhi salatu wasalam, in an authentic hadith that one of the signs of the last hour is that an individual will find a grave and say, Ya laytani kuntu makana. Oh, I wish I'm in the position of this person in the grave. He said, does that mean that it is allowed to wish to be dead? It is not allowed to wish to be dead, because the Prophet ﷺ prohibited Abbas, his uncle, from wishing to be dead. He said, don't wish to be dead. Don't wish to be dead. This is one of the reasons that will make us understand that suicide bombing is away from Islam. If you must not wish to be dead, should you then now kill yourself? We should not, a Muslim should not wish to be dead, because if he is alive and is upon goodness, he will increase his goodness. If he is alive and is upon sin, he has the chance to repent. So the fact that that is part of the signs of the last hour does not mean that it is allowed or not allowed in itself, because it is a sign of the last hour. Amongst those who have said what I am saying now is Al-Imam Al-Hafiz Ibn Hajar Rahimahullah in Al-Fath. He mentioned it in 2 places that I know. That the fact that something is a sign of the last hour does not necessarily mean that that thing is haram. So, if we bring it to this issue that from the signs of the last hour is that the women trade will be so proliferated to the extent that women will be tradeswomen for their husbands, we may not categorically be able to say that that means that for a woman to support her husband in her trade is haram, until we can find something, perhaps until it involves some muharramat, like the woman being made head of men. Like a woman being made head of men, head mistress of a school that has male teachers. Ulama say this is prohibited. Women should not be made heads of men. If there are men and women under the section, the men should be made to lead, because ar-rijalu qawwamuna 'ala ar-rijal, men. Nisa, women, is still co-joins, co-workers. So women should not be made rulers over men. And at the same time, that hadith does not expressly indicate that a woman may not support her husband's trade unless it involves things that are haram. If it does not involve things that are haram, inshallah, as I sit now, I don't believe that it is haram, unless perhaps we become better educated tomorrow, that there is a text that indicates that that in itself is haram. Allahu Akbar.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Please, I want to ask a question on beer.
On
beer.
On the beard.
Yes.
Now,
I want you to educate us, no matter how literate may be, the sunnah of leaving the beer.
The sunnah of leaving the beer.
Because some afar will say it is not a sin to remove the beer. Why? I don't know. I just want you to give us more education on
leaving
that.
the beard is not a sunnah in terms of saying that it is recommended. It is an obligation. Something when you are not doing it, you are sinning. When the individual is not leaving the beard, he is sinning. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he commanded us, he said, "I'fu nihya, i'fu, efile ojo, ejowu, i'fu, efile, i'fu, leave it, let it grow." He says, "Waqas ash-shawarib," and then reduce your mustaches. In the narration, he says, "Khaliful Yahuda wa Nasara," be different from the Jews and the Christians. In some areas, he says, "Khaliful Nisa," be different from women. In some areas, he says, "Khaliful Mushriki," be different from Mushrikun. Leave your beard. So all of these indicates that we should leave the beard. It is command, and Allah has ordered us to follow. مَا أَتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. If he says don't do something, don't do. If he says do, do. And he says, فَلْيَحْذَرِ الَّذِينَ يُخَالِفُونَ عَنْ أَمْرِهِ. Not those who disobey the commands of the Prophet, be careful. أَنْ تُصِيبَهُمْ فِتْنَةٌ, that Allah may affect them with fitna. So it means not to obey the instruction of the Prophet ﷺ may invite fitna for the individual. And here is his command. Say, hey, fully here, leave your beard. So it is obligatory to leave the beard. The question is, what is a beard? What is a beard? The beard are the hairs on the jawbone. The jawbone, the hairs on it, they are the beard. And that will extend from the lower end of the earlobe of one side of the face to the other, the bone itself. And then it will climb up, down. The beard is the hair on the cheekbone. That is lihya. Some people will shave here, and leave the one under like this, like Oxbaker. That is not Islam. Follow the messenger if you want to follow him. Follow him well. So it's not shave here, and leave one small here. Sometimes they remove it completely, sometimes they trim it, sometimes they allow it to grow. I know some people, the business they do is a religious business. They take people for Hajj. And they work in the corporate world. So when they are in Nigeria doing their corporate work, they are clean shave, dirty shave. 2 months to Hajj, you start seeing the beard. After Ramadan, you start seeing the beard. At the time of Hajj, you see the beard. Immediately after Hajj, the beard will go. They are making tijara with this thing. Business. Because when people see you, you are not afar. They say, we won't follow you to Hajj. So they leave it to deceive their customers. And they will be wearing jalabia throughout. But when they are in the where they sell shares, what is it called? When they are in the floor of the stock exchange, you see them corporates with tie and coat and suit. That time they are not afar. They have suspended the work of afar. In Ramadan, you start seeing it. You start seeing the beard. Till Hajj. Salam alaikum Hajj. They shave it. They are joking with Allah's injunctions. It is obligatory on the Muslim to keep the beard. When he keeps the beard, Allah rewards him for it. He keeps it in obedience to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Some people even keep it not because of sunnah, just I like it. Some keep it because Wale Shoyinka is keeping it. So why should you not keep it because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is keeping the beard? So the ruling of beard is not sunnah of mustahab. It is sunnah of wajib. Not to keep it is to sin regarding the matter. And it is not allowed to be doctoring it. There is the hadith of Abdullah ibn Umar and Abu Hurairah that when the beard exceeds a fist, a clench, when you grab the beard below your jaw, one fist, that whatever comes below it, we should cut it off. This occurs in the hadith of Abu Hurairah and Abdullah ibn Umar, and Al-Imam Ibrahim ibn Yazid al-Nakhai said that the people they met amongst the elders, Ibrahim ibn Yazid al-Nakhai was a tabi'i from amongst the students of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, like Al-Imam Al-Qama ibn Waqas and others. So when he says our elders, he's talking about these people. Imam al-Aswad, these are the teachers of Ibrahim al-Nakhai, and the children of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud and his brother Utbah ibn Mas'ud. These were the teachers of Imam Ibrahim al-Nakhai. And he said our elders, they also grab a fist and then they cut whatever comes below it. So ulama say, and they are the ones that reported the hadith on Ifa'ul Lihya Abu Hurairah and Abdullah ibn Umar. So ulama say from this, if your beard is grown up such that it goes beyond one clench, you grab it like this, then it's allowed for you to cut it. So some of those who trim it, even when their beard had not gone to a feast, they use this as an example. We say no, it's not the example. You use it that when you grab it, you can cut it. Even though some of the ulama say no, this itself is not correct. What the Prophet himself sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said is that leave it. But the correct thing is that when it goes beyond, cut it. When it goes beyond a grab of a hand, you can cut whatever is beyond that. Why? Because Ar-Rawi Adra Bima Rawa. Ar-Rawi Adra Bima Ruwiyatihi. The person who reports a hadith, he understands the hadith better than you listening to the hadith. Abu Hurairah reported the hadith, Abdullah ibn Umar reported the hadith, and they do it. They know it better than us in that case. So Allahu Alam. But that is not justification for 3 minutes, cutting it, and all this design of baker, teddy, that people are doing all of this. People say, a man will do it, old teddy bear, and he say, I'm escaping bear. It is teddy you are following, not the Prophet Muhammad. May Allah forgive us. So the ruling on the beard is that it is obligatory and should be kept. We should keep it with the intention of following the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Last question, inshallah. Unfortunately, I've not heard questions on wudu. Okay, bismillah. Now,
if a woman does and she's plaiting her hair,
a woman is plaiting her hair.
like she has plaited her hair
Okay.
during the time of the fast.
During the fast.
Yes, and she's about to, she has finished the fast. Will she
Untie the hair? No, she doesn't.
Okay.
She should observe her ghusl. But if she does, it is better.
Okay.
If she unties the hair, better. But it's not obligatory on her. She could have a ghusl like that.
Okay. And if a baby urinates on, let's say, my body now, and I was about to go in for Salah.
And you are about standing for Salah.
Yes.
Stand up, wash that place off, and then go on with your Salah. A baby boy or girl.
Sorry.
Alaykum as-salam. Please, assuming the parents of the lady did not want them to marry each other because of the level of the brother's iman, that is high. So, subhanallah, the parents of a girl can deny a brother with high iman. They can do it. These days, people say iman is ready to put. I don't know whether they have an imanometer. If a man has iman, he will not cheat your child. If a man has iman, he will not cheat your daughter. If he has inadequacies, he will correct himself. If it is true that he has iman. If it is true that he has iman, he will not cheat your daughter. But the problem is that the intellect of people are now mankusa. That is upturned, upside down. If it is money, if the father of the girl is a millionaire and the husband is a billionaire, will that father say, the money of this husband is too much, I can't marry my daughter to him because his money is too much? He's living in my two, in a house that he built, 3-story building, well-built house. But the husband is living in Banana Island or Lekki in a house that he built, bungalow. What will the father say? Will he say the money is too much? No, my children, I brought her up in my two. I don't want my child to live in Banana Island or Lekki. Will they do that? So why is it that they will do that with regards to issues of Iman? And let me tell you, a rich man is more likely to throw away your poor daughter. I tell you this, rich men these days, there are a lot of women looking for them. The slightest excuse your daughter makes, he throws her out of the house. Because he believes that he has what with which he can marry another one. But if he has Iman, the worst he will do is say marry another one. If he wants. Be sure that when your in-law, your son-in-law, the man who wants to marry your daughter, if he has Iman, he will not cheat your daughter. If he makes mistake, he will adjust himself. So please, it is not a negative. It should be a positive trait that a person of Iman wants to marry your daughter. Now, the whole family say no, they will not accept. We don't want that Iman, we don't want. It is money that we want. I've heard that before too. Parents say no, we don't want him, we want money. If he is comfortable, he is rich, let him come. I think a problem like this will be resolved by the girl herself from the beginning. Brothers and sisters, as you are coming here and listening to Allah say something, Prophet say something, your parents are not coming. If you are not telling them what you hear here, you are not fair to your parents. And you think they must understand what you understand. They are not hearing wazi. They are not coming and they are not listening to audios. Not necessarily hear any good wazi. And you think that they must behave the way you behave. They must understand the way you understand. When you have learned and you left them ignorant. I therefore encourage brothers, please tell your parents what you know about Islam when you get back home. Don't keep them ignorant. Women, don't keep your husbands ignorant. Husbands, don't keep your wives ignorant. Parents, don't keep your children ignorant. Children, don't leave your parents to be ignorant. Make efforts over them. So that at the time of marriage like this, you will not have problem. Some people want to solve a problem they started 15 years ago. They want to solve it in 15 minutes. Yes, it is difficult. They say, I bought one, we start to preach to them. They have not accepted. So this father is kafir. It's not suitable as wali. They go and look for another person. Oh, yeah, do the wali for me. Marry this girl to me. This is rascality. Not Islam. How did you think that father would have understood what you are talking about? You are not fair to him. And you should be fair to him. So and then with you in your fatwa, you cancel the wali and say, no, you are no more the wali of this girl. You are the wali, at the same time you are the husband. Because you cancel the wali of the father, wilaya of the father. Therefore I say this kind of a problem will not be solved overnight. It will entail persuasion, enlightenment, education, and a lot of things. The fear of the parents is that if the iman is too much, their daughter or son may not be able to cope. So you begin to encourage them. No, it is iman that is good. This, that. You start talking to them to encourage them. But when they don't understand after a single discussion, don't say that they are stupid or mad. How many years did it take you to reach where you have reached? So let us be fair to parents. If a person says, no, I will not be fair to parents, we say, no problem. You too, you will soon be in that condition very soon. Yes. We have started having children now. We too, we have become baba now. I always tell them that if you say, don't baba, they don't know, wait, you too, you are coming to their position. And except Allah has not blessed your children. What every parent prays for is that our children should be better than us. So would you not want your children to handle you carefully? If you want your children to handle you carefully, you handle them too carefully. You handle your parents and the parents of your prospective wife, you handle them carefully too. I think this thing is from scarce because brothers, they quickly want to have the sisters, quick. So they say, we are talking to him, he didn't hear. What is the next thing? They want you to tell them that go to court. No. Marriage is supposed to blend families. Marriage is not supposed to tear families apart. So when you tear the family apart from the beginning of the marriage, where are you going to? From the beginning, you tear everybody. Kafir, this one is kafir, this one is kafir. So how will you live in the family with the wife? So I think we need to be more knowledge-based. We need to be more open-minded. We need to give people excuse more. We need to be more matured in our approach. We need to rely on Allah more and pray that Allah guides every one of us the more. And we need to be more patient with our approach with people who don't understand what we have understood. Give them time. It took you time. The Almighty Allah guide all of us and forgive our shortcomings. Inshallah, we'll continue with our next class, with our book in our next class. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. آمين.